I'm sure all the participants are very excited to hear the uh, detailed updates on the clinical trials and the recent regulations by our guest speaker. And for the new drugs and clinical trial rules published in 2019 and effective from 2019 have really changed the face of the new clinical trial regulations in India. And that has really helped our regulators community to make sure the availability of the essential medicine, especially during the pandemic time, and making sure the availability of the drugs and the vaccines within a shortest possible time. So we are going to hear in detail about the regulatory updates. And before I invite our guest speaker, I would like to request the President of AIDC, Dr. Jayanta Chaudhary, for the welcome remarks.
Good morning, everybody. Respected Dr. A. Ramkishan, Deputy Drugs Controller, India, Central Drug Standard Control Organizations, our today's guest speaker, Lakshmi Prasanna, Coordinator of ADCOP Training Academy, Central Council members, senior regulators, friends from pharma company, students and scholars, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all in this important webinar today. Friends, our training academy under leadership of Lakshmi and the active guidance of Bhaskar sir is consistently organizing webinar as a 15-20 days apart on contemporary topics on pharmaceuticals and helping us to update our knowledge base. And today's is another update on clinical trials. Friends, we have been conducting clinical research studies in the country since many decades. However, in the last decade, the clinical trials of India has had its own share of ups and downs. If you look into the past, since 2013, India has undergone a significant regulatory transformation in regard to clinical trials. As we know, clinical trials is an important component of innovation, and the Union government is trying to streamline this norms and rules in this respect. The new drugs and clinical trials 2019 is a step in this direction, aiming to promote clinical research industry in the country. And of course, that too in a transparent and faster mode. During the period, government has taken a number of policy initiatives and measures. As we know that India's acceptance of international guidelines, intellectual property rights, and the good regulatory practices to promote clinical research. The various amendments and procedures for payment of compensation to the patient, to the participant of the clinical trials are redefined. Rules for specifying norms of condition of conduct of inspection of clinical trials, transparency in conducting of clinical trials, trial as per GCP guidelines, audio video recording of informed consent, and pharmacovigilance submission has also been made mandatory. The rules also provide the time limit for CLA to respond, the maximum time limit, that any drug discovered and manufactured in the country and marketed in the country will be deemed approval for clinical within 30 working days, and for drugs developed outside India within 90 working days. Now, no fees has been adopted for orphan drugs, for the rare diseases, and so on, so on. Moreover, the amendments in patent laws and establishment of national clinical trial registry has made the clinical trials mandatory for registrations. In addition, online portals through Sugam portal have also been extended to pharmaceutical companies to submit and apply for clinical trials. As we ever, that the entire process of clinical trials is a long, arduous, and costly. On an average, it takes approximately 8 to 9 years for a molecule to reach from the lab to the patients. And the clinical development phase is the longest time. It takes more than $2 billion to develop a drug globally. So this reason, as well, the drug development is a high risk investment. Global pharmaceutical companies are trying to find their ways for cost containment and increase the productivity. And this way, our country has enormous opportunity to become one of the preferred destination for clinical trials because of its large heterogeneous patient pool and rapidly transforming healthcare market, highly educated manpower, including investigator physicians, and cost competitiveness. Let us take this opportunity to hear from Dr. A. Ramkishanji, who is expert on this subject and have a vast understanding. Ramkishanji is a very familiar face in of the Indian regulatory system. So with this short opening remarks, on behalf of All India Drugs Control Officers Confederation, I sincerely welcome Dr. A. Ramkishanji. Sir, kindly give your valuable deliberation and insight into the subject. Thank you all. So over to Dr. Ramkishanji.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry for intervention. As a courtesy, I also take this pleasure to formally welcome Ramkishanji and to give a short brief about the profile of Ramkishan sir. I know all the participants are very much aware of the great work being done by Ramkishan sir, but as a matter of courtesy, as a matter of protocol, I take a couple of minutes to briefly introduce. And as we all know, sir has started his career in CDSCO and he has worked in various capacities in various zones in CDSCO, right across from the west, north, east, and currently in south. And he has extended his services in the various facets of the regulatory mechanism. So he holds a PhD in pharmacology from Gujarat University, and he has done extensive research in the pharmaceutical sciences. And for the tremendous work that he has done, he has awarded with many more awards also, and he has got 2 patents and also published 2 books. And he has almost 32 research publications, both at international level and also at the Indian publication. And he heads the biological division in CDSCO during the tenure of 13 to 17, in which he used to look after the SEC meetings for the biological products and also the review of CT protocols and the CTT data for the approval of clinical trials, and also the EAB division and veterinary division. At the tremendous contribution Dr. Ramkishanji has served in executing these roles, especially in the biological divisions and in the field of getting the NRA assessment of CDSCO in 2017. Dr. Ramkishanji was appreciated with a letter of appreciation from the DCGI, and also for the outstanding contribution he has done in the entire career of 25 years. He has awarded with many more awards, and if I take to point out the awards, I think I need to take at least 30 to 40 minutes to mention all the awards. But I would like to mention a few of the important awards that he has been accorded. So he was the recipient of a Best Drugs Inspector as well as the Best Drug Control Officers Award by the AADCOC. And he was also a recipient of several international awards. Just to name a few, he was a recipient of NATA Award by USA NATA, presented at Georgia, and also Distinguished Award for Excellence in Regulatory Affairs by Indianapolis, USA, and also the recipient of Pharma Ratna Award by NGO New Delhi. And apart from the regulatory contribution, Dr. Ramkishanji has more philanthropic in nature, and he has been extending services outside the purview of the regulatory for the general public and for the underprivileged societies. And he, for the largest oral hygiene cancer screening camp that Ramkishan sir has organized in 2019 in the district of Mahabuba, he was awarded with the Guinness World Record. And also he was the recipient of Appreciation Award by the International Hemophilia Federation. for excellent services in the approval of blood products for the benefit of hemophilia patients in India during the period of 15 and 17. And in the regulatory fraternity, he has been working with several institutions and associations, and he is a member of several boards like IPA, IPGA, ISPE, ADCOC, FIP, and so many. And he is the convener in Scientific Services Committee of India Pharmaceutical Congress Association, and also a member in various national committees. So with this brief introduction, I warmly welcome Dr. Ramkishan sir for the presentation.
Can I, madam? So, thank you very much, madam. On behalf of CDSO, I would like to thank AIDSUOC President, respected Sri Jayant Chaudhary ji, and Program Coordinator Lakshmi Prasanna ji, and all the Executive Council members of All India Drug Control Officers Confederation. On behalf of DCG, sir, it gives me immense pleasure to share some of my thoughts with respect to recent regulatory updates on clinical trials in India. So this is one of the gray area. Since last 25 years, we have been taking care of several amendments, but this GSR 227E, which was published on 19th March 2019, based on Swasthya Adhikari Much 33, Writ Petition 33 of 2012, 70 of 2012, Indore versus Union of India, where I was fortunate to act as a principal GCP investigator. Myself, Jayant Kumar DDC, currently working at Ahmedabad. We were the two people to sum up that important investigation consisting of 157 pages of investigation. Based on that report, Honorable Supreme Court of India gave the directions with respect to systematic supervision of clinical trials and ethics committee involvement, where to need focus with respect to promotion of clinical research in toto with respect to Indian context. That was the objective, sir. So I am very happy. I would like to thank all the participants, more than 1,225 participants registered. I am grateful to All India Drug Control Officer Confederation, Lakshmi Prasanna Madam, since 12th May 2022 to 23, because we are goes on. She has requested 7 times. I could not able to make it convenient to attend and give one important topic with respect to the EDCOC Distinct Training Academy. I am extremely sorry for that, but I am having high regards in toto with respect to All India Drug Control Officers Confederation. In the year 1998, 30th November, I was the first person from CDSU to get membership with respect to our Sri respected Dr. Sri Ravi Uday Bhaskar ji. But I always call doctor, but he's a non-doctor, but he's more than doctorate. But he was the instrumental, and he was inspirational to me when I newly joined the drug inspector in the year 1998 at West Zone, Mumbai. So based on his inspiration and encouragement, with the support of S.W. Deshpande, I was the instrumental to take care of All India Drug Control Officer Confederation, very active. Myself, Ishwar Reddy, and Dr. Soman. We are very fortunate, but out of the 3, I was the first person to get the enrollment, and I went to Bandra Kurla complex on 30th November 1998. I got the EDCOC membership. Generally, CDSU and state government, there is some difference, but now we are all regulators. And I would like to congratulate All India Drug Control Officers Confederation under the chairmanship of Dr. Jayant Chaudhary ji and program coordinator, and with the support of our Ravi Uday Bhaskar ji. This is one of the excellent training platform you have created for the benefit of all MSME sector, all CROs, all important participant, industry, academy, and regulators who will get maximum benefits with respect to recent updates being published by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Law is central law, everyone knows. I don't want to hammer, because as far as our regulations are concerned, 10th April 1940, the Indian Drug Legislation Award, And in the year 1945, rules came. And from there, we are all taking care with respect to various regulations for implementation, enforcement as far as drugs, cosmetic, medical devices, in vitro diagnostic kits are concerned. So with this important GSR 227, we got a lot of support to the industry. We got support to give the approval for the compassionate use, which are not approved in our country, unapproved drugs particularly. So we have given the benefit, and this GSR 227E, because now old schedule was gone. Now this new GSR is really taking care. Some of the silent features already covered by Dr. Jayan Chaudhary Saab, orphan drugs, accelerated approval, expedited approval, ethics committee, biomedical health research. Because in this new GSR is really we are having 107 rules, 13 chapters, 8 schedules. I don't know out of 1,227 participants, how many people are really thorough with this amendment, but please kindly go through that. Really will enjoy, and really we can create an atmosphere where we can promote real clinical research for novel molecules in order to serve vulnerable population across the globe, not only India. So this is my appeal, friends. I'm very happy. So I'm having 40 slides because no 13 chapters, 8 schedule. If I go, it will take 8 hours. I have validated myself, but few important slides I have prepared. 40 slides. I'll go one by one. You please write down if any doubts. We'll have complete discussion. We'll go with the fruitful, important take-home messages with respect to the today's presentation on clinical trials update. So thank you very much, Lakshmi Madam. I'll go one by one, and we will have thorough discussion with respect to the important presentation slides. So here I would like to give the regulation, how the biomedical health research is taken care by the Indian Council of Medical Research, and what are the important responsibilities for the ethics committee, how we can take care for the ethics committee members with respect to review of city protocol for clinical trials, bioavailability, bioequivalence trials, important ethics committee, and in case of any injury related to drug, and only it is related to drug or medical device or IVD. So what sort of compensation policy we are having? Nowhere in the world we are having compensation except India. So this is one of the beauty thing you can notice by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And post-trial access. So what exactly mean by post-trial access? What benefit the subject participant will get, the relevant medication with respect to if any beneficial effects occurred during the clinical trial protocol and during clinical trial program. After that, we are also going to give the free of cost medication to the trial subject for their benefits that we'll discuss. The timelines already Chaudhary Saab told 30 working days in India within the country, 90 working days outside of the country. And if any IND or NC molecule is being developed, so if there is no any response from the regulatory side, it is a deemed approved. So you please note this part. So now things are changing under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India. We are also taking lead with respect to providing more transparent and accountable to the public. So now e-governance is in place, complete online application with respect to various approvals as far as Indian drug legislation is concerned. And I would like to focus on import and manufacture of unapproved new drugs, how we are taking care of the regulation for the new drugs, accelerated approval, post-marketing safety assessment, and also the recent 5th June 2020, there was one GSR 354 published for the requirement for the import license of the new drugs, that is City 13 for manufacturing of new drugs for the compassionate use. That also very, very clear. So this credit goes to current DCGSR, Dr. V.G. Somani sir. For his constant efforts, we got this GSR and trying to promote industry with respect to serving the poor needy patient for ensuring quality medical products. So this is the complete outline. So where we can cover the important principles as far as new drugs and clinical trial rules are concerned. Next one, please. And here, because the Indian legislation is because everyone knows in our country, the main Bhagavad Gita, where we are dealing with the drugs, medical devices, cosmetics, is the main law is Drugs and Cosmetic Act, everyone knows. So most of the speakers earlier given in the All India Drug Control Officers Academy, everyone might have sensitized with respect to prosecution, important good clinical practices, good manufacturing practices, Schedule M, validation, important utility section validation, filling areas and all. So all these things, because the main principle, because whatever law, because as per the 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, the drugs falls under the concurrent list of Indian Constitution, where the seventh schedule of Indian Constitution describes because the health comes under the concurrent list of Indian Constitution. Therefore, it is governed by both Government of India and central government. Act is central, but enforcement by the various state licensing authority. So we are having close harmony and putting efforts with respect to uniform implementations of various provisions of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So the main principle is whatever drugs are being manufactured with respect to operation, control, sale, distribution are controlled. So all these manufacturing activities should be under control environment in order to elicit desired pharmacological effect, in order to protect the product to avoid the degradation. Number two, number three is we have to manufacture under control environment where air and quality water is required with respect to the manufacturing operations and control for the development of drug. So therefore, control gives the important quality, purity, efficacy, safety parameter. Second, you can have the more stability. Third, you can see the important desired pharmacological effect, what we call effectiveness of the product, in order to keep good pharmacological effect in the patient and hospital clinical setting. That we'll discuss. But overall, the drug regulatory system in India, friends, drug falls under the concurrent list of Indian Constitution. I already told it is governed by both Government of India, central government, and state government under the provisions of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So, friend, background information, just I will go through 2-3 slides so that at least for the benefit of participants, you can understand. CDSU is the Apex National Regulatory Authority, discharging functions assigned by the central government under the provisions of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So, Government of India, federal government is committed to meet a robust regulatory environment for ensuring quality, purity, safety, efficacy of drugs, medical devices, in vitro diagnostic kits, and including all important novel medical preparations. It has taken various initiatives, friends, including revision of the existing regulatory framework, and also committed nationally and globally to achieve all public health goals as per the 61.24 World Health Assembly passed by the WHO Geneva, Switzerland. So in that, health is very, very important. Main objective by WHO is to promote international health, and each country is having their own GMP text. India is also having their own GMP text now. 2018 draft of the revised Schedule M also meeting in line of the international regulatory guideline. Therefore, all the principles incorporated in line of ICS guideline, US FDA, PMDA Japan, KFDA, European Union. So almost all these important NDCT rules of 2019, 227 GSR is meeting almost all important principles of the global regulatory framework. So that you can see, pharmaceutical sector is growing sector, one of the knowledge-based sector. Government of India identified 25 key sector. Out of that, pharmaceutical sector is one of the key sector under the Make in India initiative. So we are going to have a lot of future, provided if you can put your efforts sincerely to focus on drug discovery and development, we can do wonderful things. So that's how Almighty provided good energy to all of us, how to focus. And this is the only sector compared to other sectors having evergreen business, and you can have satisfaction. And after the God, because of doctor, and doctor requires quality medical products. So in that, pharmaceutical fraternity, all pharmacists and regulatory scientists can take lead with respect to serving the society by ensuring quality movement of medical products. So fast track approval within the ambit of law, at the same time without compromising the safety and quality efficacy parameters. If we can evaluate the CMC, what we call chemistry manufacturing control data, and as per the important common technical document, general information, CMC, preclinical, clinical data, if you can see, you can have some satisfaction. You can give the market authorization with respect to the various applications submitted by the stakeholders. So this is the background, and main preamble is to regulate manufacture, sale, distribution of import drugs, cosmetic, biological, medical devices, and other products. Objective is to ensure the public are supplied with the quality medical products as per the section 3B. So section 3B is very, very important of the chapter 1 of the DNC Act. Any substance, any item, any liquid, any semi-solid meant for diagnosis, mitigation, cure, or prevention in human beings or animal ailment, either for internal or external use, is considered as a drug. So very, very important. Same way medical devices, same way IVD, same way cosmetics, including cosmopharmaceuticals and phytopharmaceuticals. So we are all incorporated biosimilar products definition we have incorporated in our new amendment. So things are changing as per the current demand. One should not comment on our Indian legislation. At the same time, the credit goes to our stakeholders. We are having very good number of USFDA approvals, more than 270, and EDQM, Envisa Brazil, UK, MHRA, UWC, and all important regulatory agencies approved. So when our manufacturers are putting their efforts, then regulators also changing. We are having win-win situation to everyone. Ultimately, public need quality medical products. So this is the thing. So basic philosophy is government agencies and manufacturers also equally responsible with respect to ensuring quality medical products. So by having the periodic inspection, everyone knows, but yes, so everyone will blame regulators. Recently, one incident happened, regulators given the approval, people died. So it's not like that. So because we are having a set of principles, tenets of GMP principles are in place. When you are going for the manufacturing operation, equally manufacturer is also responsible for ensuring step-by-step operation, starting from receipt to manufacturing operation and your completion area, then again coating area, then primary packing, strip packing, blister packing, then ultimately packing and goes to quality control sample for the testing and release and distribution to different markets. This is also very, very important. So now things are changing and new law, new bill is going to be in place. Health Act 2023. Once it is going to be in public, we are going to have a lot of changes in line of international regulatory agencies. So now the existing Drugs and Cosmetic Act is also under the revision. 1,121 points are identified as a regulatory burden. One way we are saying make in India, ease of doing business, digital health and all. Other way, we are all having ambiguity in our existing Drugs and Cosmetic Act. This was the criticism by the industry. So we have to take in a positive way. So whatever points we are having, we have identified. Government of India constituted a committee, and the committee has taken all important inputs. We are going to have the simplified, robust, and in line of international regulatory agencies with respect to our provisions of Drugs and Cosmetic Act is concerned. So this is also I am giving extra knowledge to all the participants, friends. You can see. So things are changing. Ultimately, we are going to create ease of doing environment for all micro, medium, small entrepreneurs in order to promote clinical trial and also to focus on novel products, and followed by manufacturing operations and control for development of various pharmaceutical dosage forms in order to achieve patient safety in hospital or clinical settings. So NDCT rules. Here, friends, the draft of NDCT rules published on 1st February 2018, that is GSR 104. So based on 33 of 2012, 79 of 2012, Indore versus Union of India, Swasthya Adhikar Manch. So based on this writ petition, Supreme Court gave the important directions to Government of India to publish and to make amendments and to have the systematic supervision of clinical trials promotion in India. So that was the issue, and credit goes to our Honorable Supreme Court of India, where the Government of India took the initiatives for the benefit of industry to promote the new clinical trials era with respect to all new molecules, investigation, new drugs, and new chemical entities with respect to the GSR published on 19th March 2019. So these rules came in force from 19th March 2019, except the Chapter 4. Chapter 4 deals with the biomedical health research, where it is under the control of ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, with respect to their effectiveness and enforcement. We have given some extra time, which was effective from 19th September 2019. So when this draft came, when this finalization came, after receiving the public comment, we have enforced the GSR for all stakeholders on 19th March 2019 for all regulatory approval for the biomedical health research, which was effectively implemented from 19th September 2019. So this is the thing I want to share, friends. And 107 rules I told, 13 chapters, 8 schedule, where we are taking care of new drugs, investigation, new drugs, human use, clinical trial, BAB studies, and ethics committee. Here we are having 13 chapters. Chapter 1 deals with what is meant by clinical trial, what is meant by ethics committee, what is meant by new chemical entity, What is meant by IND? So for the benefit of participant, I'll go one by one so that you can understand, friends, how we can take care. So preliminary definition, the chapter 1 takes care of what exactly mean by clinical trial site. Clinical trial site, institute or hospital or any clinical establishment having required facilities to conduct clinical trial is called as a clinical trial site. Very, very clear. Effectiveness and efficacy. Most of the people are getting confusion. BSc people, other life sciences people. What is the difference between effectiveness and efficacy? Sir, ability to achieve desired effects means whatever product is being manufactured, whatever inherent, intrinsic and extrinsic parameters and characteristics of those important molecule embedded in that product, maybe any formulation, tablet or capsule, any formulation, once you take by any route of administration, it has got tendency to develop and having affinity towards coupling with tissue proteins, what we call the receptors, and this molecule having drug receptor complex, then tendency means ability to achieve the important clinical pharmacological response, nothing but desired effects in the diseased condition is nothing but a efficacy. This is very, very important, friends. Everyone knows, most of the doctors also knows, pharmacists, regulatory scientists, and basic scientists should know the exact definition of efficacy, safety, and effectiveness. Safety means once you take any dosage form, it should have no deleterious effect with respect to those molecules having safe with respect to the biological system, peripheral system, or circulatory system. That is important thing already defined in ICS and as well as in this chapter also. And GCP formulated by the CDSO, adopted by Drug Technical Advisory Board. API, everyone knows. Most of the people, even lot of IAS, IPS people are now coming into the pharma to invest and to have the important US FDA facilities. So things are changing. Many people are concentrating toward the pharma formulation. So API, what exactly mean by bulk? What is mean by formulation? So one should know. So we have given very good palatable definition with respect to API, active pharmaceutical ingredient. In this, excipient and API both are same? No. Excipient is part of your API formulation. API is part of your formulation. So when you go with the important tablet formulation, so excipients part of your formulation and API is the main, in order to increase the bulkiness of the to get the desired the formulation in the form of the different shapes of that particular product tablet. So this is the important API where you can have the desired effect, and supportive excipients also should have the important GMP excipient. Now things are changing in our country. We are not having excipient regulation, but USFD and other people are having. So in near future, definitely we are going to control the excipient. So we are having a lot of interaction with the excipients and formulation and drug-drug interaction. So these are all things. So it will take some time, but with the limited resources, with the good entrepreneurship skills, regulators and industry and academia and student fraternity and all scientists across the country putting efforts for the development of novel products. So any substance used in a finished pharmaceutical preparation with intention to provide pharmacological activity for diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, cure of disease, having direct effect on restoring or correcting or modifying physiological functions in human beings or animals is nothing but a API, is nothing but a bulk drug. In that, impurities are very, very important. Whether you are manufacturing under GMP environment or not, nitrosamines with respect to ranitidine and hydrochloride, everyone knows. So things are changing, and manufacturers and the regulators also should have alertness with respect to manufacturing operations and control to verify all documents with respect to having any external factors supporting or influencing in order to provide any deleterious effect or not. That we need to check. Ultimately, patient require safe medical product, safe medication. Regulators also equally important. So we are all here to facilitate industry without compromising law in order to meet all important inherent properties and also quality parameters like purity, identity, safety, efficacy of important products. So medical management. Friend, treatment and necessary activities for providing medical care to complement the treatment is nothing but a medical management. Here, I want to give the difference between the new chemical entity and IND. New chemical entity means not approved as a drug, proposed to be developed as a new drug for the first time by establishing its safety and efficacy is called as a new chemical entity. बहुत लोग कंफ्यूज होते हैं सर. One must know, not approved as a drug, proposed to be developed as a new drug for first time by the establishing its safety and efficacy is called as a NCEs. And IND, investigation new drug, not approved for marketing as a drug in any country is called as a IND. These are all definition in line of ICH and USP. For the benefit of stakeholders, we have incorporated all important definitions in our chapter 1 of NDCT rules of 2019. And very interesting thing, earlier there was no any definition of the orphan drug. Orphan drug means a drug intended to treat a condition which affects not less than 5 lakh people in India is called as orphan drug. We are having some relaxation. We are promoting industry, life-threatening condition, extreme emergency, extreme other pandemic situation. We are promoting stakeholders in order to serve poor patient. First time we have incorporated the definition of new orphan drug in our NDCT rules. This credit goes to our Honorable Minister, Health Minister, Ministry official, Joint Secretary, Secretary, Additional Secretary, our current Drug Control General India. They are all putting efforts. And under their guidance, we are putting at the regional level, field officer level for the benefit of industry and stakeholders. And fourth one is PTA, post-trial access. What is meant by post-trial access? To a clinical trial participant, after completion of trial based on benefit accrual during the clinical trial research activity or clinical trial program, if anyone is getting the benefit, so we have kept this post-trial access in order to supply those molecules for their benefit because they have already participated. So that also, that relaxation also we have given, and we have kept post-trial access in similar line of ICH and developed countries. And PV, everyone knows now pharmacovigilance is taking place and Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission is taking lead. We are having a new GSR. Every pharma company should have their well-defined pharmacovigilance center where they need to detect and assess the understanding and prevention of so-called adverse reactions, including serious adverse reaction related to drug problems. So in order to have the database on safety of drugs, we are also gearing up with respect to pharmacovigilance and also material-vigilance with respect to medical devices, hemovigilance with respect to blood and its components and biological products, and biovigilance with respect to biosimilar products, hemovigilance, material-vigilance, biovigilance, and pharmacovigilance, and vaccines-related, AFA-related adverse events following immunization. We are having a separate committee headed by our Health Ministry official. There is a separate Deputy Commissioner at Nirman Bhavan, New Delhi, with the support of WHO country office and CDS official, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission official. So we are all putting efforts with respect to the data development and safety information pharmacovigilance. So there are all things. So I don't want to hammer. And the first time, similar biological definition also involved. So when I was in biological division in the year 2015, with the support of Association of Biotech-led Entrepreneurs, we have developed the regulatory requirements for simplification of the regulatory principles for the promotion of market authorization for approval of similar biological products in India, and which was effective from 2016, based on the Honorable High Court Delhi, because there was a court case with respect to Herceptin versus BMAP, that is trastuzumab for the treatment of breast cancer, gastric ulcer cancer, and other important cancers. So first time Biocon came with the trastuzumab because no cost difference, because patent off ho gaya. In that there was a court case filed by the international companies. I don't want to disclose, but finally I was the main instrumental with respect to attending 47 times at Honorable High Court Delhi. But the verdict came in favor of Union of India. Thereby, all our generic manufacturers got the benefit at affordable rate with respect to production of monoclonal antibodies, larger molecule, smaller molecule, without compromising law in order to meet all important similarity, physico-chemical characteristics, all key quality attributes and critical quality attributes based on the comparability of innovator molecule published by ICH countries. What we call similar biologic product, similar in terms of quality, safety, purity based on comparability of already approved reference biological product is nothing but a similar biological product. Trial subject, patient, healthy person, those who are taking IP, investigational product, not Indian pharmacopoeia, is administered for the purpose of clinical trial, is called as a trial subject. Friends, I would like to focus on 2-3 minutes on new drug definition. The new drug definition, earlier it was under the Rule 122E of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. Now we are having, as per the Rule 2W of the NDCT rules, where it is dealing with the new drug definition. Investigation new drug definition is as per the Rule 2W or 2S, that I will tell you later. So the definition of new drugs, I will go quickly because another important slides I would like to focus. So first, the definition, if you can see, friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 important clauses you see, go through this, very palatable, you can enjoy. First one is a drug including active pharmaceutical ingredient or phytopharmaceutical drug which has not been used in the country to any significant extent except in accordance with the provisions of the Act and rules made thereunder as per the conditions specified in the labeling thereof and has not been approved as a safe, efficacious by the Central Licensing Authority with respect to its claim, is called as a new drug. In that phytopharmaceutical drug, red color, here if you can see, the phytopharmaceutical drug means a drug of purified fraction or standardized fraction assessed qualitatively and quantitatively with a well-defined of minimum having 4 bioactive or phytochemical compounds of an extract, plant extract, sorry, of a medicinal plant or its part for internal or external use on human beings or animals meant for diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, or prevention of any disease or disorder, but does not include drug administered through parental route of administration, is called as a new drug. Here, second one, drug approved by Central Licensing Authority for certain claims proposed to be marketed with modified or new claim, including indication, route of administration, dosage and dosage form, is also called as new drug. And third, fixed dose combination of 2 or more drugs approved separately for certain claims proposed to be combined for the first time in a fixed ratio, or where the ratio of ingredients in an approved combination is proposed to be changed with certain claims, including indication, route of administration, dosage form, is called as a new drug. Everyone knows. And the fourth clause is very, very important. Modified or sustained release form of drug or novel drug delivery system of any drug approved by Central Licensing Authority. All modified sustained release is called as novel drug delivery products, comes under the new drug definition. And fifth clause is vaccines, all vaccines meant for human and veterinary application, recombinant DNA based products, living modified organism products, monoclonal antibodies, regenerative medical products, autologous and allogenic stem cell derived products, gene therapeutic products, or what we call xenografts, intended to be used as a drug, falls under the new drugs. Very, very clear. elaborative in line of international regulatory agencies, friends. Drugs other than drugs referred to in a subclass 4 and 5 shall continue to be new drugs for a period of 4 years, means 1, 2, 3. Up to 4 years, new drugs. After that, no new drug. In case of class 4 and class 5, shall be remained as a new drugs. Very, very clear. This is the definition as per the rule 2W of NDCT rules of 2019. In case of investigation new drug, rule, because ये देखने के लिए बच्चे लिए जैसा दिखता है, but very, very important. Each and every word is very, very important. People will get the confusion and they will come with a lot of queries, and they should know the basic definition of the new drug as per the NDCT rule, so that they can have the clarity before approaching any FDA office across the country, friends. But as per the rule 2, yes, investigation new drug means a new chemical or biological entity or substance that has not been approved for marketing as a drug in any country is called as investigation new drug. Unapproved drugs also, APIs, which is not approved under Rule 76 or Rule 81 of DNC Act, is also very, very clear. They should approach, they should get the online application, and they should get the approval from the CDSO with respect to further manufacturing of novel products. So these are all the important definition. For the benefit of audience, I have kept. Generally, if I go through directly biomedical health research, ethics committee, accelerated approval, then again expedited review, then approved drugs, regulatory requirement for the import and manufacturing of unapproved drugs. And if I say 30-40 minutes, 1 hour mein ho jayega, but at least one should know. Maybe it is boring for you people, but for me, 100 times I read this definition. Every comma, full stop, I know in the brainstem of the cortical region of our so-called small brain given by the God. So life is very precious. We have to put our efforts sincerely. My all 1200 participants and regulatory friends, avoid the ego, put the efforts, sincerely read, apply your science with respect to life sciences sector. We can do wonderful things for the serving poor humanities. And orphan drug already told. Here, the interesting thing is no fees for conduct of clinical trial. Those who are really engaged with respect to such type of novel product, with respect to the status of orphan drug category, we are not charging any fees for the trial activities. And provision such type of product, those who have submitted the phase 3 clinical trial data, we are also having expedited review approval process. So according to PMDA Sakigaki, conditional approval. So we have modified what we call the accelerated approval. So this is also in similar line of Japan. We have incorporated in the form of accelerated or expedited approval process on top priority for the benefit of our country population. And friends, chapter 4 also one should know, because most of the scientists also confuse biomedical and health research. Earlier, there was no any regulation in our country. Now there is a separate chapter for the regulating the biomedical health research. Biomedical health research means research including studies on basic research, applied research, operation research, or clinical research designed primarily to increase scientific knowledge about the disease and condition, physical or socio-behavioral, their detection and cause, evolving strategies for health promotion, prevention, amelioration of disease and rehabilitation, but does not include clinical trial as defined in Class J of NDCT rules. So here we got only scientific knowledge, and those who want to go for the research activities, ICMR is controlling, and they are having a separate set of principle guidance document published in 2021. ICMR DG taking care with respect to promotion of biomedical non-regulatory trials, biomedical health research. Based on the ethical committee approval, they can take care. So this is very, very effective from 19th September 2019, friends. So BHR to be conducted in accordance with National Ethical Guidelines for Biomedical Health Research involving human participant by ICMR. So EC for BHR is required to be registered with the DHR, Departmental Health Research, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. deals with non-regulatory studies. I already told. Ethics committee to oversee the studies and serious adverse event compensation dealt by ethics committee, they have to follow as per the BHR guide, biomedical health research. So this is one of the important slide for the benefit of important clinicians, scientists, and ethics committee people should know. Ethics committee people should take lead with respect to biomedical health research activities in order to primarily focus and to increase scientific knowledge with respect to their important diseases. Controlling based on the condition of physical or social behavioral is very, very important with respect to their cause and detection. And chapter 3 is ethics committee. Now things are changing. Ethics committees gear up. We are also having more than 1,000, more than 1,500 institutional committees. Ethics committee approval. Independent is different. Institutional ethics committee is different. Big hospital, corporate people having their own institutional ethics committee in order to deal and thoroughly evaluate the protocol and also the related drugs with respect to giving their ethics really involved with respect to promotion of their protection, subjects, protection of the subject, well-being and rights as per the ICMR guidelines. As far as this committee is concerned, applicable rules is 6 to 14, constitution particulars given, registration validity. Earlier, registration was for only 3 years. Now we are having 5 years. So applicable form City 1 and City 2. City 1 is for the registration. City 2 is for the renewal of ethics committee as per the chapter 3 of NDCT rules. Timelines we have given 90 days. So ethics committee also should not, they should not neglect. At the same time, as far as clinical trials are concerned, they should know with respect to thorough evaluation to give their inputs with respect to any ACEs or any serious adverse events, any important issues are concerned. They should inform to the licensing authorities, sponsors, investigators with respect to the available guideline. Ethics committee means committee consisting of medical, scientific, non-medical, non-scientific members whose responsibility is to ensure the protection of rights, safety, well-being of men subjects involved in a clinical trial activities, and it shall be responsible for reviewing and approving the protocol, the suitability of investigators, facilities, methods, and adequacy of information to be used for obtaining and documenting informed consent of the study subjects, and adequacy of confidentiality of safeguards is called as a ethics committee, friends. So very, very clear. One should know ultimate objective, we have to protect and promote the rights, safety, and well-being of important patient and important healthy subject participated in clinical research program. So here, constitution earlier, minimum 50% of members and chairman from the outside, member secretary from the inside, I mean institution, respective institution. Here, first time we have incorporated the member representation from the women's side. There was no any women representation. I only raised the question, at least all gents, at least 10-15 people. Why not women's? Women's are more respected in our country. So immediately our joint secretary responded, and at least one women representative should actively involve with respect to ethics committee activities. So I am not claiming I am great, but indirectly we are putting efforts, and we should raise if there is any harm is getting to the public. Otherwise, people will take advantage and they will spoil our image. So we have to be very transparent. For in the interest of public, if you take lead, no one will question. That's what I pray to God, and everyone should know the important principles involved in the ethics committee. Then here, academic clinical trial compensation, all these are important things. And here registration is valid for the 5 years. I already told earlier there was validity for 3 years. So these are all important things. But those who are violating ethics committee, we are giving show cause notices, suspension and cancellation with the debarring letters. So ethics committee people also should know the medical scientists, regulatory science scientists, science people, and important non-medical fraternity, layman, NGO, lawyer, all these people should know the important basic principles of ethics committee. And they are also getting training from the ICMR, and ICMR also having a separate registry for the clinical trials. Based on that, we are taking care. So another 15 minutes, madam. and can accord approval, all these things. So here, suspension, cancellation, we are taking care. Another 15 minutes, madam, because already
Okay, sir.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hammer people. So because Saturday, everyone will have enjoyment with their families. So suspension,
I believe
cancellation.
you have many more slides, and I really wonder how could you finish it off in another 15 minutes.
Yes, madam. Because already important points covered, but just I would like to show so that they can
Okay.
also see and they can also email to me if any doubts.
Please.
So ethics committee also biomedical health research that already told, and ICMR is taking care with respect to applicable rules 15, 16, 17, and Farm City 1 and City 3, madam, and information document submitted in the table of third schedule. So these are all things. So we are not worried about the biomedical health research. ICMR is taking lead. But ethics committee, biomedical health research, orphan drugs are very, very important. And here, provisional registration, I already told. And ethics committee, because why I'm focusing, most of the people are neglecting the ethics committee, and they should have the effective review. That is missing link. Whenever we go for audit, madam, people are neglecting. Ethics protocol No, they should know. I asked several ethics committee members, you have reviewed so and so protocol. What is the exact therapeutic use of so and so drug? They are keeping means that indicate they are not having thorough knowledge, not having interest with respect to reading and referring those important city protocols. That is one of the challenge we are facing. So Government of India is also committed to give training to all ethics committee members within 6 months, madam. So these are all changes taking place with respect to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And compensation with respect to clinical trial subjects, if anything goes wrong, we are having compensation formula. We are taking care and giving. We are having a separate casualty committee at Delhi, and based on the recommendation of the casualty committee and Drug Control General India, Central Licensing Authority is awarding the compensation with respect to those important subjects related to death or injury or complete medical management, permanent or non-permanent injury to a different participation of the parent, including child with respect to injuries that we have given very categorically. And academic clinical trial also, because this is also one of the very important things we have added. Academic clinical trial means most of the people, our so many pharmacy colleges are dealing with a lot of research. They ask us, always they are requesting us, sir, if it is a non-regulatory trial, don't come to regulatory. It is only for pure academic research purpose or research publication purpose, then you can carry out based on the ethics committee permission. This is very, very clear. Academic clinical trial means clinical trial of a drug already approved for certain claim initiated by any investigator, academia, or research institution for new indication or new route of administration or new dose or dosage form where the results of such trial are intended to be used only for academic or research purposes and not for seeking approval by Central Licensing Authority or any regulatory authority of respective country for marketing or commercial purposes. Permission from CLA not required. Central Licensing Authority not required. Clinical trial and approved drug is intended solely for academic research purpose for new indication or new route of administration or new dosage or dosage form. These are all very, very clear. So don't go for confusion, friend. Academic clinical trial definition, there was no any definition earlier. We have incorporated very categorically in a palatable way in our existing NDCT rules. And post-trial access, I already told, post-trial taxes mean making a new drug or IND available to trial subject after completion of clinical trial through which said drug be beneficial to trial subject during clinical trial for such a period, as considered by investigator based on the ethics committee recommendation. Based on the investigator recommendation, we have to provide the drug at free of cost. Then there is no any alternative therapy available. No liability to sponsor for post-trial use. Patient committed to take in writing. After approval by this committee, we have to provide by free of cost by the sponsor. This is the post-trial access. Compensation, I already told. And timelines 90 days and because no 30 days. Because no, in case of clinical trial, as a part of discovery, research, and manufacturing marketing in India, permission, rejection, raising query is within 30 working days. So this is very, very clear. And regulators also gearing up. For other application for clinical trial, permission rejection raising query is within 90 working days. No deemed approval provision with respect to clinical trial. Here, deemed approval within this thing, because in case of clinical trial, as a part of discovery, research, and manufacture, A and B, these are the two differences one should note, and you can take lead. And import manufacture of unapproved new drugs. This also, sometimes people want to go for import. Medical officer of government hospital would like to import, approved for marketing in the country of origin, for patients suffering with respect to life-threatening condition, disease causing serious permanent disability or any unmet medical needs. We are also having provision with respect to the approval for such type of unapproved drugs in small quantity base. Those who want to go for manufacture, we can also give the permission with respect to treatment of those patients with respect to satisfactory therapy when there is no available in the country. We are also giving approval to manufacture in a limited quantity. So this is the important provision we have added. Approval of new drugs already told, and accelerated approval second schedule is very, very clear. And accelerated approval process means it is allowed to new drug for a disease or condition taking into account its severity, rarity, or prevalence, and availability or lack of alternative treatments, provided that there is a prima facie case of the product being of meaningful therapeutic benefit over the existing treatment. In such case, we are taking lead with respect to accelerated approval process in order to promote industries. So this is very, very important. So additional post-license studies may be required to be conducted after approval to generate data on larger population. What we call the post-marketing surveillance is also very, very important to describe the clinical benefits as per the protocol approved by the Central Licensing Authority. Already covered. And waiver of local clinical trial for approval of new drug. Suppose if the drug is approved and sir, हमको phase 1 का data है, phase 3 का, phase 2 का है, we want to go for the some clinical trial waiver. When we are going for the clinical trial waiver, if the new drug is approved and marketed in a country specified under the rule and no major unexpected serious adverse events have been reported, so they have to give the safety profile. AE data and serious adverse event data they have to give, and based on the global clinical trial data, if there is no evidence, if there is no difference with respect to enzymes or genes involved in the metabolic process, bioinformation stage 1 and stage 2 of metabolic drugs, then factors affecting pharmacokinetics and dynamics with respect to safety and efficacy of new drug, then we are going to give the clinical trial waiver with the subject to strict phase 4 clinical trial. That is, phase 4 clinical trial is required for such waivers where the same may be relaxed under the following condition indicated in life-threatening condition. Unmet conditions, unmet need in India with respect to important diseases, tuberculosis, hepatitis, H1N1, dengue, malaria, HIV. In future, we are also going to have the SARS, orphan drug, all these things we are going to take care with respect to clinical trial waiver. So ultimately, pre and post submission meeting we are having, we are promoting industry, ultimately to promote research by the micro, small, medium entrepreneurs, academic research, and for the MSME sector, we are also having 50% waiver of relaxation with respect to the charging the fees. For government autonomous institutions, also no fees for the application to conduct clinical trials. And key advantages of the new drugs, if you can say, lay down the clear pathway of new drugs, make in India advantage, reduction in approval of timelines, online processing of all application as a part of e-governance, ease of doing business. Now Sugam portal is in place, Suraksha, Gunvakta, Manakta, everyone knows, and putting efforts with respect to important things. Nearly 70 million population in India suffer from rare disorders and many of which still not curable, and their treatments is also very high. Moreover, the research in India is more skewed towards non-communicable disease (NCDs). So clinical trials in this field will bring much anticipated balance. New NDC rules and are expected to promote clinical research in the country through transparent process yielding faster approvals. It is crucial to maintain highest standards as any compromise may jeopardize public confidence and participation in the clinical trials may ultimately affect the availability of safe and effective product. So these are all things and key advantages, friends. And new rules state that any drug discovered in India or research and development of drug has been done in India, which is proposed to be manufactured and marketed in the country, will be deemed approved for clinical trials within 30 working days, within 30 working days of the typo error, and by Central Licensing Authority. In the event that there is no communication from the CLA, it is automatically permission is granted. It will not happen like that, but everyone is active with respect to e-governance submission, and everyone is responsible. And our zone, Hyderabad zone, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, SLS are doing good with respect to the timelines for the fast track approval. We are supporting and having close coordination with respect to benefit of stakeholders. So compared to markets, Indonesia, where committing is an issue, African countries where communication is a major problem, Western Europe, where the cost of trials are expensive, patients have limited health issues, but language is also one of the major barriers. Therefore, friends, India offers good infrastructure, easy policies, and the government has propensity to facilitate more companies considering Indian market as a ground for clinical trials. So these are all things. So ultimately, fruit of silence is a prayer, fruit of prayer is a faith, fruit of faith is love, and fruit of love is service, fruit of service is peace. So enjoy peaceful life. Again, SARS 17, BF7 is in the process. We have to have the preparedness for the pandemic, and so many things are going to happen, and how the new variant is going to behave in our Indian population. I am not creating panic situation, but at the same time, as a alert citizen of the country, as a regulator, we are putting our efforts with the support of All India Drug Control Federation, all colleagues, those who are involved with this type of important facilitation in the form of training platform. As a coordinator, Lakshmi Prasanna Madam is taking lead. She is also drug inspector, and as a good coordinator and taking lead with the support of President Jain Chaudhary, and under the overall guidance of Sri Ravi Udayabhaskar ji, present Director General Pharmaceutical Export Promotion Council of India, taking lead, and we can have vibrancy in near future for the benefit of globe. And under the able leadership of Pradhan Mantri ji, we can do wonders. We need not to afraid of anyone. Thank you very much. Value as a value, only if its value is valued. So with this, he is my boss, given me the permission, taking lead. The credit goes to Dr. Venugopal Girdharlal Somani ji, the current Drug Control General India, under his able leadership as a small regulator, putting efforts to take care of the important needs of the stakeholders. Thank you very much. So things are changing. So monkey also requires dairy milk chocolate. So everyone requires quality product. So we have to prepare accordingly, and we have to take care. Thadi also, parrot is also taking thadi. So non-sterile product in the form of liquid, enjoying the parrot. So things are changing. So even watermelon also taking by this. So things are changing. So we have to take it. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts for the betterment of all our participants. I'm very happy, and thank you one and all 1,200 participants for attending this important the webinar with the support of EDCOG, President, and our Ravi Udayabhaskar ji and Lakshmi Prasanna Madam. I was having little bad throat, but non-stop without taking water. I kept water and tea. Hot water I have not taken. Only one azithromycin I took. But yesterday up to night 1 o'clock I read, because I don't want to tell. If you tell like this, people will bluff. So we have to put our efforts. When I give the commitment means I have to follow that. So thank you very much, Lakshmi Madam. All the best. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. And hearing to your presentation or your talk is itself is a great inspiration for everyone. And really appreciate your comprehensive and deep insights on this subject. And we also joined by our Secretary General Rajbanu sir, and I was told that he has little throat problem and he having a persistent cough. So that's why we could not able to come forward and speak. So he extended his greetings to you, sir.
हमारा सेक्रेटरी जनरल साहब को भी प्रणाम. हमारा साहब राजभानु साहब इज माय गुरु, सो वी रेस्पेक्ट अ लॉट. सो प्लीज कन्वे माय सेम ग्रीटिंग्स.
Thank you, Ramkishan ji. Namaskar.
Namaste. I am also having same problem, Dr. Saab.
No. In fact, because of your speech, I got my throat problem actually.
I don't know, sir. Maybe.
So it's such an exhaustive, lucid presentation. I think I could not able to join in the beginning. Thank you so much, Ramkishanji, for being on board for our training academy, for your vast experience and your wisdom in this arena. And thank you so much, Lakshmi, for taking Ramkishanji. I've been persistently trying you for past 1 year, I believe, almost like from May onwards. And Jayantaji for being here today. Sorry if I could not able to make it in the beginning, sir. And let me tell you one small thing where Mr. Kailasamji, late Sri Kailasamji, who passed away. We used to see an inspection report of his where the observation starts from A to Z and also AA to ZZ and AAA to ZZZ. And definitely Ramkishan's slides will go on and go on and go on. It will not stop actually. And Lakshmi has intervened. Of course, it's a vast subject. In fact, it doesn't really able to cover in 1 hour. In fact, he is a tsunami kind of a person where he will have vast knowledge and he will just put it on and it will go on and actually. And thank you so much, sir, for being with us and giving you entire insights of this very vast subject, very critical subject, important one. And I'm sure you are the part of it while bringing this in 2019 and all, and all other team who has brought this CT, New Drugs and CT 2019. Thank you once again on behalf of our AIDCOC. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So now we will open the floor for the question and answer session. And
Please,
there
please.
are few questions already being listed in the chat. I'll take one by one. Sir, initial quick question on the differentiation between the NCE and IND. The new chemical entity and investigation new drug. So one of the participants would like to understand what exactly is the difference between this.
First. So here very clear in chapter 1, new chemical entity means not approved as a drug, proposed to be developed as a new drug for the first time by establishing its safety and efficacy is called as a new chemical entity. Investigation new drug. These are the two differences. Investigation new drug means not approved, already safety and efficacy established, but not approved for marketing purpose as a drug in any of the country at the global level is called as a IND. So these are the differences between new chemical entity, sir, and IND Gopal, sir. Very clear. I will circulate this presentation to, I will request to madam and you can take and go through the chapter 1 of all important definitions in our NDCT rules, Gopal sir. In line of ICS countries.
The presentation and the video recording will be shared with all the participants after the
What about technologies like dual release medicine, dual release, modified release, sustained release for any novel molecules considered as a new drug? Sun Pharma साहब, हमारा कौन है साहब क्या? अमरिंदर जी, Sun Pharma, Osomeprazole 1.5 milligram for immediate release, modified release, sustained release of any important, all modified release. I told the class number, subclass 2, with respect to new drug definition as per the rule 2W, sir. And 1 milligram of sustained release considered as a new drug, sir. And please ask, sir. Then,
sir, I'll take that.
Sir, what is governance role in clinical e-governance role in clinical trial? Already Sugam portal is ready. Those who want to go for the City 1, City 2, City 13, City 14, City 15, City 16 online application as per the checklist available. You have to go for the upload. with relevant fees. You have to make application in the Sugam through online. You are going to get the online city approval based on your trial protocol and other requisite documents as per the your proposed products. So because of now since 2014, we are not having any manual listing, receipt of application. Sugam portal, e-governance, 90% is completed. Once the national portal is ready, we are going to have the all access with all SLAs across the country. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana almost 80% completed. We are going to have the national portal. Then we can have wonderful e-governance in total with respect to the global environments. Next. Nano medicine.
Next question
Next
is
question. Anonymous attendee. Naam nahi likha, no problem. I have a quick question upon regulatory framework and preparedness. On the basis of Indian government issued guidelines for evaluation of nano pharmaceuticals in India in 2019, in contrast to guideline issued by EMA, US FDA, MHR. Friend, आपका नाम बताना नहीं चाहते, but good, wonderful session. Thank you very much for giving me the compliment. But nano medicine also going to be covered under the new drug definition. If you can go through the point by point as per the class number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nano medicine and important molecules, because now you are going to reduce your particle size and going to target on the micron level and nano level, where you are going some important cytotoxic drugs. For example, paclitaxel having some reduction in your your particle size, developing in the form of liposomal form. Then if you want to go for the administration, means attract the definition of the new drugs. And vitamin D3 also same problem. And again, ambisome, our amphotericin B also same. So in order to avoid the important side reactions, side effects, other important contraindication, so all these nano pharmaceuticals also falls under the definition of Rule 2W of NDCT rules. सभी को हम participants को thank you बोलेंगे, and big thanks on behalf of EDCAC Academy. I am not that great, but kept my some important efforts and principles in place for the benefit of all audience friends. Okay. Is the excipient law still not implemented? Bhaiya, हम वही बता रहे, we are in the process. Feed supplement, dietary supplements, excipient. We are having so many gray areas in our India. We are having total 1500 R&D centers. Is there any guideline with respect to enforcement of research and development centers in India in line of orange guidelines of UK MHRA? है नहीं. So it will take some time being a developing country. अब दूसरा लोग करने के बाद हम copy cut paste करते नहीं. Now our Honorable Prime Minister is going to take lead, and in near future, within 3-4 years, we are going to have a lot of changes. I already told Health Bill 2023 is ready. In that, we are going to have a lot of changes. Existing law is also under the active consideration for the review, where we are going to have separate regulation for the excipients, feed supplement, poultry supplements, and important dietary supplement, nutraceutical, OTC products is already in the pipeline, GSR issued, and also nutraceutical. And in near future, we are going to have so many other regulations in line of developed countries. Sir, should women be included in B study? Women studies hote rehte, those who want to go for the hormonal studies with respect to bioequivalence, females are included in that. We are having separate female studies where we need to focus specialized molecules as per the international regulations as well as Indian regulations also for generation of the data for the product registration of respect to countries globally. What is NC? Already बोल दिया new chemical entity. Cosmoceuticals and quasi-product. Cosmo pharmaceutical as per the 2021 guidelines already we have given. If any cosmetic having some important promotion, attraction, beautification, altering the skin as per the definition of cosmetic and having some safety and giving some promising result with respect to desired clinical effects, then we are also having separate committee to approve the Cosmo pharmaceutical. That is separate. I will take one cosmetic regulations also separate now. It is because for your curiosity, I am explaining, sir. When can we expect the post-approval changes options in a Sugam portal for this city? Already it is under the active consideration. DCJs have took last month meeting with respect to uploading document on the post-approval changes for the biological products, including human vaccines. What is your view on placebo use in clinical trial? Bhaiya, in order to get some impact, placebo we can use because in lineups, international agencies, they can go for that, and in city protocol, you can put that placebo. We are going to use placebo trial or double blind or randomized or all these important trial categories definition we have given, and you can use placebo with respect to your clinical trial for the proposed products, sir. Is there any act like Whistleblower Protection Act in India? Whistleblower करेंगे US में है तो हमारा भी करेगा. We RTI is in place and everyone can raise their questions in RTI. People are doing that. No issue. On death of participant during a clinical trial, who will inform whom in the regulatory and in what time schedule? Timelines are framed within 24 hours with respect to serious adverse events, including death. Investigator should inform to the licensing authority, and ethics committee also should inform. And immediately after the evaluation, sponsor also should evaluate thoroughly, and within 7 days they have to intimate to licensing authority with respect to death. What we call serious adverse event during the clinical trial program can be Mamata Madam. So already timelines framed, and you can take care, Mamata Madam. Mamata Madam.
The student of pharmacy.
Very good.
Part of clinical trials and
yeah, Mamata Madam, very good, very good. On death of the patient participant during clinical, बहुत अच्छा question है. Death means serious adverse event, including death. Excellent. Anonymous attendee. Hi sir. Hi so dear sir or लिखो, sir लिखो. Hi बोलता I am not your friend. थोड़ा तो respect दो भैया globally. Sir, hi sir. This is Janvi. I am pursuing fourth year PharmD. Sri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, one of the good college, and हमारा भीमवरम में last month I was there. I want to be part of clinical trial and how I need to approach that. You can participate as a subject participant with respect to BA studies and clinical trial participant if you are fit as per the inclusion criteria of the respective proposal. You can. Is there any approvals required for the import of material left? Import of material left after conduct of clinical trial in abroad? No. Why you want to? Because whatever medicine left in the UK or Germany or Nepal or Bhutan or Colombia or Malaysia or Washington DC, why you want to take and you want to use on our Indian population? What is the? Because you have to give the scientific justification. If justified, then we'll give the approval for that. Such type of import NOC, sir. All are academic related questions, Lakshmi Madam.
yes.
But I will give all questions answer.
Appreciate your patience. Sir, I'll take the questions.
Sir, numbers are increasing.
होना चाहिए, sir.
Going on. And
No issue. I'm happy because they should get the clarity. No, sir. I'm also very happy.
Sir, what is the necessary condition? Next question, sir. What are all the necessary conditions for clinical trials at academic level for MCE for a disease less than 2,000 patients per year?
हम नहीं
If animal
करेंगे.
studies are not.
For non-regulated trial, we are not going to give the approval for that. If it is for the regulated trial, they have to approach the central licensing authority. Simple.
Okay, sir. Next question is, there are international guidelines for the real world evidence. These studies are not part of the NDCP rules. Hence, do we need the EC approval and do we need to register them in CTRI India?
Suppose if you want to really, because we have to see the end, because you have to conclusions with respect to regulatory or non-regulatory. Suppose if it is really required for the academic purpose, then based on the ethics committee, you can go for that and you can carry out. But they need not to carry out. They have to register in the city, central registry with respect to clinical trial if they want to carry out based on the approval of the ethics committee, madam. If it is for the regulatory trial, then CDSO, Central Licensing Authority.
Next question from Dr. Ravindra. That if the approval for the new BAB center is not received within 90 days, what would be the follow-up procedure?
No follow-up procedure as and date, because since last 3 years, because I am working since 2014, no such type of incidents happen. Within 90 days, we are taking care. When I joined, within 1 week, we used to give the BNOC, and earlier there was only registration period was 1 year. Now we are having validity for 5 years. All are working under the timelines, friends. उसमें रविंद्र जी कोई चिंता करने के नहीं. In case if you are not received 90 days, it is deemed up. But अभी तक नहीं हुआ, होगा भी नहीं, उसका नौकरी चले जाएगा. All are under the timelines.
And the next question is
already covered. When can we expect the Sugam ready for the submission? Already I told. Post-approval changes for the biological products.
Sir, how many phases of clinical trials are needed for usage of drug?
बोल दिया ना भैया, अभी ये तो बेसिक क्लिनिकल ट्रायल है. आपको जो है हम आपको ये बताएंगे. ये हमारा क्लिनिकल रिसर्च करके प्रकाश, हमारा डॉक्टर एक प्रोफेसर लिखा है, हमारा जिपमर पांडिचेरी एंड चंडीगढ़. For the benefit of audience, I got this book. I am also reading like you. So there are 4 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Phase 1 safety information, phase 2 taking care of the PK/PD parameter, and phase 3 taking care of the efficacy and other parameters. Once it is established, then we are going for the market authorization as per the population kinetics with respect to proposed product. So clinical research book, we are having several authors, UK, USA, Indian author is also from the JIPPER and PGIMR Chandigarh. So clinical research book. जयंती चौधरी साहब, हम भी पढ़ाई करते हैं बुक के लिए, रेडी रख लिया. बाजू में है हमारा ड्रग एंड कॉस्मेटिक. ये किसी को पसंद ही नहीं है ड्रग एंड कॉस्मेटिक, पहले ये बुक चाहिए. थैंक यू, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग.
So moving on for the next question, sir. How the preclinical data is evaluated by CDSC?
Preclinical data with respect to biological products, recombinant DNA based products, there is a committee called as Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation. RCGM is taking lead with respect to evaluation of the safety, efficacy of the preclinical data carried out in vitro studies in experimental animals. For that, for those products, preclinical data is evaluated by them, and once the data is safe, satisfactory, then they have to approach the office of DCJ with respect to carrying out human pharmacology. So during subject expert committee meeting also, our subject expert committee people are discussing thoroughly based on the data submitted with respect to preclinical. But as a regulator, we are not having that command. We need to have several experts with respect to evaluation, but based on their recommendation, we are following all clinical trial phases as per the CDSO guidance document and also important provisions of GCP for approval.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there are 2 more questions, and can I take those questions, sir?
Yeah, please, madam. Please, madam. Please.
Okay.
Good, bad criticism. कोई मेरे को गाली देना है तो दे सकते हो, because you are having rights.
I'm worrying about the time, and of course your health. You have been suffering with severe throat infection, and without
problem.
on talking, I'm explaining everything for the past 1.5 hours. So I'm little worried about
Lakshmi, please select the selective questions.
Yes,
please.
sir. Another 3-4 questions I will quickly take that. Sir, my colleague from Andhra Pradesh, Lakshman Donavalli ji, he has a question that is there any proposal in pipeline from the CDSO office to fix the safe doses for all the drugs available in the market? As all the drugs are toxic in high doses, shall our act Act provisions or rules regulate the physicians to prescribe any drug based on its toxicity doses?
I mean, right now, madam, there is no, Lakshmanji, there is no any proposal with respect to the legislation for controlling all important drugs. But internationally, we are having, in our country, we are having the National Medical Commission and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare having prescription guidelines where the essential list of national list of essential medicine with respect to various categories we have elaborated and comprehensively we have formulated the guidance document. But each and every drug having their own side effects. But based on that, because all drugs are safe, because to certain extent, but every drug at the exceeding limits having some toxic problem, you also know, and everyone knows. But when we are approving all drugs, regulatory point of view, meeting all important regulatory principles and all quality system. When you go to a clinical practice, how many doctors having thorough knowledge with respect to prescription of the patient? Lot of overuse of the antibiotic, lot of misuse of the important medical medicational product, and only God knows. I am also sufferer during the pandemic situation. So many drugs given. Lot of people are suffering from diabetes now. Remdesivir, I am sorry to comment. Those who use remdesivir, they are all having type 1 diabetes. And we are not having database. So things are changing, but I am sorry to comment. As and date, there is no any proposal. This is good question, but we are going to take lead for next drugs consultative committee meeting. We will put a word with respect to your question, with respect to development of any important act for regulating these important prescription guidelines for the all safe medical products as far as dosage is concerned. Thank you, Lakshmanji.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another question from Spinos CRO. That is there any separate regulatory approval process for conducting BE studies of subsequent new drug? For example, if tablets are already approved by CDSCO, and if they would like to go with suspension, so what are all the approval procedures for conducting the BEs?
Same, madam. Now, because as per the new guidelines, now BCS class 2, BCS class 4, those who, because suspension liquid, only oral solid dosage forms. Again, this is the question. And those who want to go for the oral solid dosage form, they have to prove with reference to innovator product or reference product to prove the equivalency in the systemic circulatory body. So for that, same guidelines are applicable. There is no any difference as per the NDCT rules. Now, there is a separate chapter for controlling the BAB studies as per the ethics committee. They have to take care with respect to all oral solid dosage form. As per the important perpetual licensing system published on 17th November 2017, 1327, the new GSR, where we are taking care for the product endorsement before getting their product permission by the state licensing authority. It is the responsibility of the regulatory to see if any BCS class 2 and class 4 taking care, then they have to submit the BE data and first step of studies. They have to take care according to NDCT rules and they have to get the license. हमारा सुकुमार दास साहब बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं कोलकाता में, but there is no any uniformity. Now law is in place. If anyone is doing mistake, mean they are liable to the important things. So I am not using any of this thing. We have to be thorough, and regulators are implementing. And madam, there is no any ambiguity, and same guidelines is applicable for the all oral solid doses form, not liquid doses form with respect to the BAB studies.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir, another question on the vaccine development. Does company need to take both Form CT11 and Form 29 for vaccine developments? One for tester analysis and another for CT4.
Yes. They have to city लेने के बाद, that is the NOC for the carrying out your testing, analysis, examination of that important vaccine before obtaining your Form 29 license from the respective state licensing authority.
Moving on to the next question, sir. What are all the regulatory guidelines and requirements for importing finished biological products from ex-country to India for conducting the bioequivalent studies?
Because no, there is a separate division, biological division of CDHU headquarters taking lead with respect to import authorization and market registration and approval of such type of important drugs for biosimilars, human vaccines, etc. But you are writing biological product from China and to India from conducting bioequivalence study in India. No, because no, we are having lot of restrictions with respect to China. We are not encouraging. And this is the request from the highest authorities from PMO office. If anything is there, and if data is, if the product is encouraging, if really required, then we can allow. Otherwise, we are not going to entertain such type of bioequivalence studies in India.
Sir, another question on the Sugam portal, that after submission of a CTA submissions on Sugam portal, since there is a glitch in getting the auto-generated acknowledgement, so the participant is to have rectify this particular glitch in the system in the near future.
So
We
this
did-
the Sugam portal, madam.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, Sugam portal, Mr. Amit. Mr. Rahul is the nodal officer with respect to the handling of e-governance and Sugam portal. So suppose if any issue, he is the IT person where he can resolve your problem with respect to portal accessibility features like auto generation, acknowledgement, and sometimes people are having some problem, but not always. In case if you feel any difficulty, you can contact Mr. Rahul, the CDAC in charge with respect to the submission of online application through Sugam. And उसका नंबर है अपना वेबसाइट में है सर मैडम.
Okay, sir. Sir, another question from Raji Lakshmi, that an approved GCT trial, if they want to change the population ratio of Indian population and the overseas population, what kind of an information that they need to submit as a supporting evidence for the
So
protocol amendment?
So the protocol amendment should be taken taken by the subject expert committee. Based on the recommendation of the subject expert committee, they have to give the justification why they want to change. If it is really scientifically justified with respect to population kinetics, with respect to global clinical trial, then they will discuss and give the protocol amendment for such type of approval, madam.
I think we have almost at the verge of the closure of the questions, and there are one or two questions. There are questions, and how do we approach to the subject expert committee? And is there any possibility to reach out to them?
No, madam, because no, directly you cannot approach the subject expert committee. Suppose if you made an application, clinical trial application to the Central Licensing Authority, then based on your proposal, we are going to refer it to subject expert committee. We are having 29 subject expert committee in our India nominated by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. We are having endocrinology, gastroenterology, biologicals, human vaccine, pediatrics, casual committee for the compensation. So we are having series of subject expert committee. But as a individual person, you are not having any access to meet the subject expert committee consisting of pediatrician, clinician, all important oncologists, cardiologists, nephrologists, etc. Madam. Suppose if you want to have the main objective, you have to get your approval. So once you apply the CT protocol along with requisite documents and fees, then for proposed product, then we'll refer it to subject expert committee, and during the discussion, subject expert committees people are going to involve at the headquarters New Delhi, then they will give the approval if it is satisfactory, otherwise reject.
Thank you, sir. I think we've almost covered most of the questions, and only we have.
इसमें और एक है, what about the regulation for the development of topical product? Because topical products means falls under the semi-solid dosage form, ointment, creams, gels, lotions, liniments. All these things comes under this regulation. Same, in order to apply the topical product, then it has got ability to enter into your stratum corneum, epidermis, then dermis, subcutaneous, and reaching to systemic circulation. That is also very, very important. We are having same guidelines and applicable as per the NDCT rules for the promotion of new important topical product. There is no any ambiguity. That is the reason why I told all dosage forms, including novel drugs, novel dosage forms. I told categorically, any substance, any item, any liquid, any dosage form, parental route, rectal route, subcutaneous route, ophthalmic route, any route, dosage or dosage form, as per the rule 2W of NDCT rules applicable with respect to all clinical trials.
So Lakshmi,
Yeah,
please.
sir, I think we
Yes.
covered almost all the questions. There are a few repetitive things that which I have to take.
Those which are not covered, and please, I request
If anything is
Ramkishan.
missed to be taken, then request participants to share by email, so we get these question answers from Ramkishan. Thank you, sir, and I request our president, Dr. Jayanta, sir, for the concluding remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Ramkishan for your nice elaborative lecture. And actually, I'm extremely happy to be present in this important webinar and personally gain knowledge about the subject. So, frankly speaking, I have a little knowledge about the city rules and little exposure. Dr. Ramkishan has nicely explained various regulatory provisions of clinical trial rules, biomedical health research, EC, compensation, accelerated approval, and also he said the work should be done in harmony with state and central regulators, and all the definitions, IND, BAB study, and actually Ramkishan has cleared the doubts of in definitions, and the perception with the perception of knowledge he is having, the knowledge of pharmacology. So, from the deliberation, we have learned that now we have a stable and well-balanced regulatory regime, and that the clinical trial rules protects the rights and safety and well-being of the participants. At that same time, it makes it convenient for the stakeholders and to conduct good quality and ethical clinical trials. Friends, our country, India, is the second most populous nation in the world and has almost 1/5 of the global disease burden. But we are conducting less than 1.2% clinical research studies of the world. So all the stakeholders, government, policymakers, regulators, and biopharmaceuticals industry, CROs, investigators, paramedical staff, and the hospitals, the ethics committee, we need to work together in balance, in collaboration, to build the required ecosystem necessary for these increased activities we want to foresee. That during the pandemic, we have also the whole world witnessed that a variety of challenges, but at the same time, COVID-19 has generated a lot of positive new things in clinical research, use of repurposed drugs and fast-track approval, etc. There is a Chinese proverb that if you want to know your past, look into your present conditions. And if you want to know your future, look into your present actions. The use of technology in clinical tests has tremendously increased during the past. The take-home message from Dr. Ramkishan is I understand that we need to conduct our clinical trial faster, at the same time to maintain quality. We recognize that India needs to conduct quality and ethical clinical trials to find newer treatment options for the unmet medical needs for our patients. So last but not the least, such type of webinar definitely enrich our knowledge base. The very lucid and nice presentation by Ramkishan ji. We can listen for 3-4 hours together, but we have to stop somewhere. So I express once again sincere gratitude to Ramkishan ji for your immensely valuable, nice deliberation on the topic. We also thank all EC members, Central Council members, senior distinguished regulators, colleagues, pharma friends, scholars, students who have attended this webinar. Thank you once and all. And thanks to Lakshmi also for nice coordinating this webinar once again. Thank you, Dr. Ramkishanji, and thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. And I
you.
believe the audience get tired of listening, but Ramkishan sir won't tired.
Exactly, exactly.
That's the energy and enthusiasm of Ramkishan sir. I really appreciate your time. I understand your schedule is tightly busy, and somehow I'm so glad to make it. To get some time out of your busy schedule, and really appreciate you. And also really admire the way you keep on learning. I mean, you have been working for 25 years, and but still you are a student rather than a teacher, or you don't feel like you know everything, and you feel you are a continuous student to learn the things. That's really a motivation even for all of us, and they give a message for all the participants. Thank you so much, sir. And
thank you, madam.
so
Thank you,
much.
Rajwan sahab. Rajwan sahab, Secretary General को भी हमारा प्रणाम.
Sure, sir, sure. And special regards from Uday Vaskar sir also. He could not able to make it for some
Thank
other
you,
reason.
thank you. साहब को भी DG साहब को भी हमारा greetings, madam.
Okay. Thank you.
And thank
Thank you,
you,
sir.
thank you for all the participants also. Stay safe.
Thank you.